mode.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the presentation on You Bought a Forex Binary Option, Now Manage It. My name is Gail Mercer, and I will be your hostess for today. Now, before we get started, I would like everyone to take a moment and read over the risk disclaimer. Basically, trading is a risky business. You should never trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Okay, even though binary options have a limited risk environment, it still has risk. Okay, so take just a couple of minutes and read over the disclaimer. And I'm also going to do some polls. It's only 3, and we do these to actually bring you better webinars. So if everyone could answer, how many webinars on Nadex have you attended previously? And we have 4 options there, and I would appreciate it very much if you could just answer those so that we will know whether it's your first time here or if you have been here previously. Okay, we're going to close this one. And then I'd like to know what your experience in trading is. This helps us bring you better webinars in the future and design them whether you're a beginning or experienced level. So whether you see beginning techniques or more advanced techniques, okay? And finally, one additional question, and that is, what topic would you like to see more webinars on? Now, if you really have more than one choice, if you would just type it into the window, I would appreciate it. And we have about 5 different choices for you to choose. Okay, we are going to close the polls and start the presentation. Is anyone having trouble with the audio? Can everyone hear me okay and see my screen okay? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, now about me, I've got over 15 years of trading experience. I started out with a company that actually programmed indicators for TradeStation, eSignal, MultiCharts, and NinjaTrader. And I simply fell in love with the price bar. Currently, I specialize in price action, volume analysis, and divergence because I believe they are leading indicators. I'm also a frequent contributor to Stocks and Commodities magazine, Traders World, and Top Shelf. I have previously been a speaker at Traders Expo, Traders World Online Expo, and the Wyckoff Volume Conference. I'm also an author of Trading Nadex Binary Options, Keeping It Simple Strategies, as well as the new Trader's Guide to Trading Nadex Binary Options and Spreads. Both of these books can be purchased on Amazon or on my website. Now, this is a standard Nadex market screen, and it is for the euro dollar. And you can see that the instrument is actually listed over on the left-hand side. And then over here we have a bid and we have an offer. Now, if you want to buy a binary option, you would click on the blue area. If you wanted to sell a binary option, you could click over on the bid. Is everyone in the room familiar with at the money and out of the money binaries? And in the money? Okay, good. All right, so just looking at this quote screen is what I call it. You can see that right here, the 53.25, that would be considered the at the money, okay, if you were buying, okay. The $35 would be out of the money, and the $71 would be considered in the money, okay. So these are the three different types of binaries that you can work with. My favorite to work with is out of the money. And the reason is because your risk is lower when you're using out of the money versus in the money. The trade-off is the in the money has a higher probability than the ones that are out of the money. Okay, that's the difference. Now, if you're buying from the chart, it's just as easy. You see that the number here is 46.75. This is for the buy, and for the sell, the price is listed in red. Basically, the biggest difference between the buy and the sell, other than your position, okay, is here, this is going to show your risk, which in this case to buy is 46.75. Okay, and to sell, you need to subtract that number because that is the profit remaining from 100, and that gives you your risk. Okay, does everybody understand that? Now, in this case, as I said, I like out of the money binary options. Notice that I have a price set here at $15. Okay. Now, currently, it is trading at $17.25. But once I place this order, if the price touches 15 and there is a seller willing to let me buy for 15, then I can buy it. Does everybody understand that? So you don't necessarily have to use the price that is shown here. You can actually go in between these two prices. In this case, I've done $15. Does everybody realize that? And on the order ticket, you can see it always, if you are reading the ticket on entry into a binary option, you will have your max loss and your maximum profit listed on the ticket. Okay? And this is why I tell you to read the ticket, because even if you have it wrong, when you're looking at the ticket, you'll see, oh, no, it's $15 or whatever. Now, every time I enter, I immediately set a profit target, okay? Typically, if I'm entering at 15, my profit target is going to be 75. The profit potential on that would be $60 if my profit target is achieved. Now, why is that important to me? Because it increases my risk to reward ratio. In this example, if I'm able to attain my profit target, then I have made a risk to reward of 1 to 4. Okay, that means for every dollar I was risking on this trade, I was making $4 in reward. Now, it's always a constant give and take with a binary option. Okay, you've got time remaining, you have the current price and the future price that you're dealing with when you're trading out of the money binaries. Okay, the first thing that I look at is price doing what I anticipated, and is there sufficient time remaining for the price to get there? Sometimes I might have too much time for price to get there. Okay, so you've got this constant give and take. If I'm out, let's say, one strike and it's only 4 pips away, then more than likely I can do that in less than an hour. Whereas if I'm out, let's say 2 or 3 strikes, as slow as the market has been moving lately, I might be in trouble. Does everybody understand that? But then again, if I want a 4-strike movement, not a 4 pip movement, if I went out 2 hours, Well, I might have too much time if it spikes up and then spikes back down. Do y'all understand that? And these are things that we need to consider while we're in the trade. Now, one thing that I do that's going to limit my exposure is using a low risk entry method. You know, if you've only got $15 on a trade of risk, you're not going to be as paranoid as if you entered with $80, okay? Or most people are not going to be. The next question that I always ask myself, is price doing what I anticipate? And this is where you have to develop the skill to read the price bars. For example, this is an isolated low, okay? So I expect price to move up, okay? Then price moves up on this bar, still moves up on this bar, and then it moves up on this bar, okay? This is a very strong bullish bar. The next price bar should move up, but what happens? It's moving down. Should that happen? No. Okay, so you can actually exit the trade with $7.50. Okay, over here, you know, you have an isolated low, and then this bar closes above the high of that bar. That tells me that the next bar should go higher, okay? But it doesn't. So this is an alert that says, hey, your trade might be in trouble, okay? Again, you can limit your risk to the 1375. You can save just a little bit on that trade. Does everybody understand that? How do you exit? You can actually click on the gray button because that's your profit target, and then you just click on the new price, literally. And the same thing here, if you click on this gray button, because I have a profit target in, if I click on that, I can just modify the price. Any other questions on that? Now, if you're using out of the money binaries, the closer you are to expiration, the more you should expect the price bar to move in your direction. Now, counter trend trades require more monitoring than trend trades. Why? Because the trend is your friend. Typically, the trend is going to push the price up, okay? Whereas counter trend trades, you're going against the trend. But they're fun, okay? Some people like me are addicted to counter trend trades, okay? So, you know, you have to know, how do you anticipate this binary to move, and if you have the power of the higher time frame with you. Now, this is an example of one that I did, I believe it was on Monday, and I bought the euro dollar strike greater than 1.0982 by 3 a.m. Now, again, I told you I love counter trend trades, okay? So in this case, you can see that we are making the higher lows here. That's also confirmed by the price bar. I believe that it's going to go up further, and this is my strike, okay? Everybody understand that? Now, for this, I was only paying $24.75 per contract. And basically, it was about $75.25 that you had as available profit if this trade moved in your direction as you anticipated. And you can also see that there was an hour and 45 minutes for this trade to do what I anticipated it to do. So I gave it plenty of time to move, and basically you're moving from about 73 up to 82. That's 10 pips, okay? That equates to about 2.5 strikes on the euro dollar. Now, on the next bar, and this is very important, it moved from 73 all the way up to almost 94, okay? That's a 20 pip move. That's 5 strikes, okay? Now, some people would want to stay with this because, I mean, my God, it moved 5 strikes in your favor, okay? This is what's considered a wide bar, okay? Does everybody understand what a wide bar is? The markets do not like wide bars, okay? Wide bars mean it actually moves a lot more than the previous 5 bars, okay? The markets don't like that. It's a violent move, and that typically means that it's going to retrace that wide bar. Now, the wide bar is actually this bar right here, and you're looking at low to high, okay? This occurred, I think, within 25 minutes of me entering the trade. My profit target was filled at 1:39 a.m. and I was able to capture $48.25 per contract after the exchange fee was paid. Now, what would happen if you waited, okay? And this is what we do. We wait. Oh, well, I can get just a little bit more. In this case, I could get another $25 if I just held. And what happened? It retraced just like I thought it would, okay? So not only would I have lost the $24.75 that I paid on entry, but I also lost the profits that I had worked for. And this highlights one of the most important jobs a trader has. Take profits, okay? You're trading to make profits, to put those profits in the bank. Now, if you're not closing your positions out, you're not taking profits, okay? Unless it expires in your favor. If you're sitting here and you're waiting, and think about this, there was an hour and 45 minutes when I entered the trade, okay? When my profit target was hit, there was still an hour and 15 minutes, okay? That hour and 15 minutes would only give me 25 extra dollars. Do y'all understand that? The majority of the profit I had already captured. So to me, waiting was not an option. Banking the profits was an option because it was real. It was there. I could take it. Okay. Does everybody understand that? Any questions on that concept? Again, your job is to lock in those profits. Now, in this case, do you see how you had the bar? It closed at the very top. That green dot tells me there has been divergence there, and it's divergence to the upside. The price bar is confirming that move. Okay? In this case, what happened? This is where you had the divergence. This is where the entry was. And guess what? You have overhead resistance that stops price from moving higher. Okay? Because it stopped price from moving higher, that would have been my exit point. Does that mean I have to sit and watch all of my trades, or can I set it and walk away? There's a lot of times I set it and walk away. But again, Frank, this comes to using a low risk method, like the out of the money binaries. Okay. I'm not going to stress over a trade if I've only got $15 to $25 of risk and I have my profit target in to capture, $60 or $70 of profit. Okay. I'm not going to stress over it. Why? Because I have skewed the numbers in my favor. Okay. What do I mean by that? Okay. It means if I only have a 50-50 win-loss ratio, because I am capturing more on the profit side than what I'm losing, I will still be above break even at the end of the month. Let's say, and this is where, mine has kind of a double benefit or a double protection mode. Okay, let's say we do 100 trades. Most of my trades have about $30 of risk. So if I lose money on 50 trades, I'm losing $30 a trade. I've lost $1,500. Okay, but if I take the remaining 50 trades and I can make $60, well, guess what? I'm still up $1,500 for the month. Does that explain it to you, Frank? Do you understand it now? Do you always set up a limited GTC order when you want to exit a trade? I would say 90% of the time, yes. And really, it's for the same reason that Frank talked about, and that is, I want to get up and go get something if, something to eat. Maybe I need to go check on my mom. Maybe I need to let out my dogs. Okay. That profit target is there to protect me and take profits, hopefully, if they're presented. In your example, if prices move into an overhead ATR that is a target, could we also place an anticipated short on that level before price reaches the ATR? Yes, you could. Okay. But remember, if you're placing it and price has not got there yet, that's an in the money trade, which means what? Your risk is going to be high. Does that make sense to you, Mike? Because you're trying to go short. So that would be an in the money trade versus what I use, which is typically out of the money. So for example, to me, for my type of trading, I would wait until price got here, and this is a euro dollar. So let's say you're at 09.30. I know that more than likely you're going to have 09.26 as you're out of the money. Does that make sense, Mike? Okay. Now, you can visit my website at tradershelpdesk.com, or you can also email me at gm@tradershelpdesk.com. Let's go and let's look at the markets. I was looking to see if there was anything trading. Okay, so right now the euro yen is at 124.00, but that's probably going to come down. Let's actually look at crude, because crude actually had a market report, and the market report sent crude up this morning. And this is where you're looking to see if there is something available. Before I do that, I just want to make sure everybody has read over the disclaimer, because in this one, I'm probably just going to be entering a long position because that's what we're dealing with. And I want to make sure that everybody understands the risk disclaimer and that this is for educational purposes only. Now, I know there's, excuse me, an hour and 34 minutes left on this trade, and I actually think that it's going to go up. So I'm going to do one contract at 26.50, and let's see if we can get the chart up so that you can see how to place your profit target. Okay, so you can see price is trading here. This is our strike. And I'm just going to click on the +1 red box. And I'm going to set a profit target at 75. Okay. Now, right now, if this bar stays exactly the way it is right now, we should go on to make newer highs. Okay. So let's wait and see if we do. Do I focus on trading in one market? Like, do you focus on trading Forex spread, GBP, Euro, a majority of the time, or do you change your trading market with emergence of new data? I trade whatever's moving, literally. I can bring my TradeStation charts over, and this is my typical workspace. This was a trade that I did on the crude earlier today, right before the market report. You can see that the ATR was holding. There was a crude oil inventory report at 10:30 and knew it was going to move, so I went long. Okay. I did one on the Nasdaq this morning, but look at the ES and the YM. When I see charts like that, I don't even want to trade them. Okay. So I chose, if I expand this out, you can see that this looked like a better chart in general than either of these two charts. It didn't have as many gaps on it. Okay. So I preferred to trade that. And these are the Forex trades that I do, and it's 8 different currencies. So I'm looking at these all of the time, and you know, whatever's moving, that's pretty much what I'm going to be trading. Or if I think it's going to move, that's what I'm going to be trading. I'm not married to anything. I love Forex because Forex gives us more opportunities. Okay. But that doesn't mean it's going to be the only thing I trade. I'm here to make money, so whatever's moving, that's what I'm going to be trading. About the only time I actually trade crude is on Wednesdays. Now, the other thing that you could do, let's say that you didn't want the 47.41, you could even go up here because you got plenty of time for crude to get up here. Then again, you could, if you believe it's going to be under this price, you could actually sell that. Either one. I'm just focused on doing the longs today. How do I know where to set my profit target? I do the same thing all the time. You know, it's always between, you know, a $10 target on a short, 10, 15, every once in a while I'll do 20. On the long side, I'm either setting at 75, 80, or 85. And I always do that. Crude oil inventories comes out at 10:30 on most Wednesdays. The exception to that is if we have a holiday, it'll come out on Thursday. So, I mean, immediately, Were you long or short, Courtney? It sounds like you were short. What price did you enter at, Courtney? You would have to send me the actual trade, Courtney, and I'll look at it for you. But if you set a profit target at 70, was the profit target achieved? Yeah, you need to send me that one. Without seeing it, I wouldn't be able to tell you, because it sounds like maybe you were in the wrong direction. Unless you bought another contract. And that, can happen too. For example, if you can see this is a gray box here, okay? Do you see how it says sale? But if I turned around and bought it, then it's going to take away some of the profits I've already got. No problem, Courtney. I made a lot of mistakes when I was first trying to trade the binaries. It's something new. It takes you a while to learn it. We do have some great videos on the archive that are really good and can teach you a lot. Now, let's say for some reason I wanted to exit this. Some of you were asking me about that. Now, look under the working orders. You see I have a price at 75. Does everybody see that? This is the current price, 75. Okay. Now, if I wanted to exit, let's say I didn't like the way this bar was forming. If I just click here and then highlight 27, do you see how it changes that? That's how you could exit early, okay? How do you access the video archives? Let me get that up for you and I'll show you real quick. Okay, if you go to nadex.com and go to Learning Center, go to Webinar Archive, then it gives you all of the videos that have been recorded in the past. If you want to filter by presenter, for example, if you wanted to see all the videos of my webinars, if you just highlight Traders Help Desk, it brings up all of the videos of the webinars that I have done. And there's one in there, like for example, some of you said you wanted more videos on the overview of the Nadex trading platform, how to use the platform. There is a video on that. I'm new to trading binary options. Where do I start? That question is one that I get just about every single week. And we did a webinar back in April on that. So it's really a nice resource for everybody to jump in and say, hey, I'm new. Let's go through these videos. Okay. Now, right now on this trade, and I'm actually still watching this. Okay. This bar is still closed up. I want this bar actually to close higher than this. That would be on my wish list, okay? How many monitors should you have? That's up to you, Frank. I have 6 monitors, but now I do use a regular office computer. On my laptop, I can have 3 monitors. So sometimes that's dependent on, whether you're running a different trading platform or not, in addition to Nadex. If you're just using Nadex for your charting and order entry and everything, I would just connect one external monitor. They have the 4K monitors now. They're really good. One of my monitors is a 4K and it's like 32 inches. So that's usually where I have my trade station at. And it's really nice because I can see all of my charts at a glance. And then on another screen, I have the one that I showed you, all of you. And then on another screen, I'll have my Nadex. But everything is always within my viewing area. Okay. And I like that. So I would say 99.9% of the time, my computer is always on. And I do have computers in different parts of my house. So I can leave one room and go check on another one if I needed to. I love trading, that's why. Now, did you see how price is doing what I anticipated doing? Since Nadex has an indicator price of the underlying market and not the real-time market price, should I think that the prices are manipulated? I would say no. I mean, they're using, the last traded prices, okay, of the underlying market being. And again, I have studied volume analysis, and I can get real technical on volume analysis real quick with you. And, are you thinking clearly if you're thinking the market's being manipulated? Aren't you skewing what you're thinking? Yeah, and it's applied across the board the same. And I mean, if you really want to see it, I mean, I can put TradeStation up here over, and we can see whether it's any different. I mean, every once in a while, I might see a tick difference on it. Okay, 47.36, 47.36. I mean, there's no manipulation here. This is live edge of the market. Okay, this is using the underlying continuous contract of crude. Volume on the Nadex platform does not work. That's the reason I don't talk about it. It's not measuring the volume of the underlying market, Gregory, which is why I don't. Well, here is the indicative index, okay? Right over here, okay? This moves in harmony with this right here. And you can see it because it's moving right here, okay? I know the common perception of volume is the market's being manipulated. It puts me into a paranoid state of mind, and I do not want to trade with a paranoid state of mind. In fact, some of the best trading I've ever done is when I'm not looking at market reports, I'm not reading the news, I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just trading what I see on the chart. And it's a great example on crude this morning, okay? There was hidden divergence right here at this ATR, okay? And that was at least 30 minutes before the market report came out. So, you know, were professionals biased to the long side? Probably, okay? And I just went in that direction. That was it. But I had the added advantage of limiting my risk, and I think it was like $35 on that trade. So, I mean, it works to my advantage, so I don't really care because I can see where they're positioning themselves. Hidden divergence tells you that more likely than not, that price is going to pop up. Why? Why did the stochastics go lower than price? It shouldn't do that. That's divergence. Is there a difference in trading outcome between using a demo account and a live account? There could be some differences. I mean, that's demo in general, but you can always pull up your live account and run it side by side of your demo. And I have done that with Nadex, and I have not seen a difference. So now, the one thing, when you're trading futures and you're trading Forex, yes, there is a big difference. But the one thing is you don't have the slippage typically on the demo that you would have in futures and Forex. And that's probably what you're referring to, Ben. It doesn't, you know, take out the cost of the trade. It doesn't allocate for slippage, you know. In the demo for Nadex, it does take out the exchange fees. And, you know, if price is moving very quickly, you might not get in your binary on demo the same as if you were in live. Does that make sense to you, Ben? Slippage. Slippage is not something you have to worry about on the binary side. You do have to worry about it on the futures and Forex side, okay? And typically what you have to do is allocate at least one tick for slippage. In other words, you might want to get in at 47.35, but you're going to get filled at 47.36. And it makes a huge difference. Gold is real bad about slippage on the futures market. You can get up to 5 ticks of slippage on gold because when gold moves, it moves. And in order to get into the market, you're going to have to pay that slippage. Anybody that's ever traded gold futures can tell you there's quite a bit of slippage on it. But some of it depends on your broker for futures. With binary options, you really don't have to worry about it. You know, I have mine. I don't use market orders as one reason. I have mine set to limit orders. So, you know, it's going to get me in at the price that I have on my ticket or lower. The first thing that I recommend that new traders for binary options begin with is to read the books that I've written on binary options. And then as far as indicators go, you know, for the biggest part, I think that you have to learn to read price first, Ben. You know, most of my indicators are more advanced. You know, what you're seeing now is a portion of them. We also do volume analysis and divergence, which all are considered advanced techniques. Now, again, do y'all see how price is moving the way I anticipated, but I don't like what it's doing right now? Okay, I want it to close above this area, okay? And And this is when I start really watching it, because if I see any signs of a reversal, then I'm probably going to close that trade. I want buyers to remain strong. And I got too much drawing stuff on my screen. Yes, I do. Always set the ticket to limit GTC. You can actually set that in your settings, Frank, as well. There we go. Do you see how quickly that got filled? Now, did you notice that I was watching my price bars? I was not obsessing over the price bars. I was just watching to make sure that they continued up. Let's see. If you click, let me pause it for just a moment. I'll go to okay. So if you go to my account and then go to settings, go to preferences, there's a default order type. And this is the first thing that, you know, I recommend new traders do is limit GTC, okay? And the reason is simple. It means that it's a limit order, okay? It's not market. Market means if I click this and it suddenly moves up to $75, then $75 at risk, okay? However, limit GTC, GTC means good till canceled, okay? So if I click this and I wanted to set it at 25, I could actually type in 25 and it would get me in at 25. That's until I canceled the order anyway. It was at an ATR showing that it was going to move up, Christine. Yeah, and this is the same thing that you saw back over here, guys, okay? And I'll draw it for you again, okay? You're making higher lows, lower lows in the stochastics, okay? That's it. And this is a really simplified method of entry, but it works really well, so that's all that matters. At least for me, but then I designed it too. Yeah, it is. Hidden divergence is a very high probability trade. But this is the thing, and this is what this presentation is all about today, Jay. What if I was expecting price to go up and it did not take out this high, okay? Because that was my anticipation, okay? You have higher lows, lower lows in the stochastics. I think this high should be taken out. But let's say that it didn't and it decided to come down, okay? To me, that just tells me, okay, it's going to go down and I'm probably going to reverse my position. But sometimes it's how fast can you process the information? You know, this is what you expect. Higher highs in the stochastics, higher highs in price, okay? But if you're making higher lows and lower lows in the stochastics, probabilities are that that's going to continue up. That's probably going to be my next book is on divergences. Do I pay attention to all the numbers or just the last three? What market are you talking about? Crude? I mean, you have to pay attention to all the numbers in the respect that, you know, this is 47,545, okay? I wouldn't want to be at 4654. Of course, you probably wouldn't have a binary there. But when you're looking at expiration, typically it's this last three numbers that's going to make it or break it. Yeah, because some of the Forex market's 5 numbers, some's 4, some's 3, you know. So yeah, it does depend on the market. You know, when you're looking at the indices, it's 2 numbers, I think. Let's go up to indices, Wall Street. You know, you've got 2 numbers on Wall Street, on the S&P. You've got, it's still 2 numbers. You just don't see that 0 there. On the US tech, it's 2 numbers. Let's go to the DAX. The DAX, you've got 3 numbers. So, you know, that last number is the point of precision. All right, any other questions? Well, thank you, Frank. I'm looking at the USD JPY. It's a little above 114. I feel it's going up. Is that true? That would be considered giving out trading advice, which we don't do. This is an educational room, Courtney. Can we access this webinar video afternoon today? They typically will send out an email with the video, Christine. It may be this afternoon or tomorrow. Well, thank you, Mike. Any other questions before we end the session? TradeStation, tradestation.com. No problem, Courtney. Well, thank you, Christine. Thank you, Ben. Everybody have a wonderful day. And again, next week, I'll be in the webinar room, same time, same place. Everybody have a wonderful day. And again, if you have any questions, just feel free to email me.